This is just going to be a quick one this week, but basically, most days something happens in my business that I should be taking note of so I can reflect on it later. It could be a win, it could be a loss, it could be something that I've learned. And the problem is by the next day, I often forget about it. So I set up this simple solution or system in relay.app, and it prompts me in Slack. And you can also get prompted in your email as well. Either of those options work. But basically, what happens in Relay is it triggers on a scheduled basis. So every weekday, Monday to Friday, you can pick whatever time you want, but at 4 o'clock, it comes in, asks me a couple of questions, and I can respond. I can just talk to it if I want. If you use something like Whisperflow, or you can just use the built-in transcription on your phone or on your computer, or you can type to it as well, whatever works. From there, it sends it back to AI for just a quick summary to clean it up, and then logs it to the table within Relay. Then from there, what happens is at the end of each week, again on a scheduled basis, it will review those logs from the previous week, send me a summary to basically review these items. But the thing is, the AI has already reviewed part of it for me and suggests some of the things that we could implement from the business, or reminders from the wins, or things that we need to change. Let's get into it. I will show you how to build this for yourself in Relay. It is really quite simple. Hi, my name is Zach Stevenson with InnerDev Solutions. I help businesses automate certain workflows throughout their business, build custom solutions and applications, and also implement AI into their business to streamline it overall. If you have any questions, feel free to visit my website, innerdevsolutions.com, to learn more. So it does require two different workflows, and you have to create the table, but again, really easy to do. You can see this is 4 steps, and my weekly review is also only 4 steps. Now, customize this, make it your own. Basically what I've done, set up a trigger that's on a scheduled basis, and I've just picked on a daily basis at 4 p.m. It's going to prompt me. So it will send me a little note, and I'm just using a human in the loop step, which is get data input. And you can choose here how you want it to send it to you, whether it's email, Slack channel, or Slack DM. I've selected a Slack DM to myself, and I've just got my little prompt here for myself. Again, things like what went well today, what could have gone better, what did you learn, what was a clear win for you or your client or business, those types of things. It will send me a note in Slack. I can open it up right in Slack, type out my response, talk to it, tell it my response using Whisperflow. And then from there, I hit submit, and then it will just send that text to the AI summary. I'm using GPT 5.1 for now. And one important thing is you want to make sure that AI has access to that journal input step. And I'm going to work on this prompt to improve it for myself. But basically, I'm just saying, summarize and clean up this journal entry for clarity. Only output the cleaned up journal summary. I've got it as plain text. And then the next step is to add a record to a table. So you have to create the table first. I'll show you how to do that in a second, but you select your table. I'm logging the date and time and the journal entry. That's basically a summary of the journal entry that I spoke to in this step. Then send it here for just a quick summary to clean it up. And then it adds it in here. Now in Relay, you can create a table for yourself on the home screen. There's this drop down here. You select table, and then you can create a table just like you would in Google Sheets. And it's really quite simple. That is it for this step. Turn it on here, and it will run daily for me. I'm going to just run this to show you what it looks like, but we can see it's running. It's now asked me for input, and it sent me a message in Slack. I can see that it just popped up here. Since I'm running it as a test, I can actually answer it right in line. So it sends you your instructions, basically what went well today. I'm just going to make a quick note. And if I navigate to the table, we can see that it logged the date and time, and it also added the journal entry. And it probably didn't provide too much of a summary because it was already short and concise to begin with. Now, the next thing is the weekly journal review. Again, same setup. It's just a scheduled trigger. I've got it running every Sunday, and every Sunday it's going to go back and find records in that Zach's journal table. The filters I'm adding to it is I need to make sure that it comes after a certain date and comes before a certain date. And In this case, I just have it -2 weeks and -1 week so that it finds the Monday to Friday. You can play around with the filter and you can actually even use, if I show you real quickly, let's click in this find records from the table. I want to find multiple records. If you use the filter assistant, it pops out over here. You can just describe what you want. And basically it is get the records from the previous week and it will create it for you. Once it finds the records, we are going to create a prompt and it's review the journal entries from the last week, provide a summary of the things that went well, what we learned, and what could be implemented to improve the business. Again, make sure you ensure that the AI has access to the records that it found. And then over here, it just automatically created this for me. Using this auto generate, it broke out each point from the list that I've created in here. Then I've got it sending a message to myself in Slack. You can send a message to yourself by email, really whatever you want. And it breaks out all of the things here. I'm not going to run it actually in this case because I only have one thing in this demo log, but I think you get the point. It is pretty straightforward to create for yourself. You can customize this however you want. And honestly, it will only probably take you about 10 minutes to set up the basis of this. That's it for this tutorial. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you find this useful. I think it's a very simple but very powerful type of journal log that you can create for yourself. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more tutorials in the future.